Coming up on 5 Minute News. Fourth COVID vaccine boosts antibodies fivefold, says Israeli Prime Minister. More police officers sue Trump over January 6 insurrection. And drivers endure frigid night on impassable highway in Virginia. It's Wednesday, January 5. I'm Anthony Davis. A fourth dose of COVID-19 vaccine boosts antibodies fivefold a week after the shot is administered, Israeli Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said on Tuesday, citing preliminary findings of an Israeli study. Israel has played a leading role in studying the effects of COVID-19 vaccines as the fastest country to roll out two-dose inoculations to a wide population a year ago, and one of the first to give third shots as boosters. It is now administering fourth doses to people over 60, health workers and immunocompromised patients. The World Health Organization, however, has said more people worldwide should be vaccinated with first doses before others receive boosters. Since the heavily mutated Omicron variant was first detected in November, WHO data shows it has spread quickly and emerged in at least 128 countries. Case numbers have surged to all-time records, but hospitalization and death rates are largely lower than at other phases in the pandemic. President Joe Biden urged concern but not alarm on Tuesday as the US set new records for daily reported cases. Biden urged Americans to once again get vaccinated against COVID-19 and get their booster shots, saying that at this point in time, there's no excuse for anyone being unvaccinated. The US hit 1 million new COVID cases on Monday, underscoring the threat of the Omicron variant as the third year of the pandemic gets underway. 3 more police officers who responded to the January 6 attack on the Capitol, including 2 who aided the evacuation of lawmakers, have sued Donald Trump, seeking damages for their physical and emotional injuries. A Capitol police officer who defended lawmakers in the House chamber during the assault filed the first 2 lawsuits against Trump on Tuesday, asking a court to hold the former president responsible for the mob of his supporters who conducted the attack. The other lawsuit was filed by 2 officers with the Metropolitan Police Department, who were called in to help the Capitol Police during the insurrection. In a 49-page lawsuit filed in federal court in Washington, Capitol Officer Marcus Moore, a 10-year veteran of the force, described the intense terror of the day as he moved from his post at the Madison Building to the east side of the Capitol and eventually into the House chamber, helping evacuate lawmakers to safety. He's seeking a judgment against Trump and compensatory damages, saying explosions inside and outside the building left him with tinnitus. He also indicated he witnessed one rioter inside the Capitol armed with a gun. Moore is one of hundreds of Capitol police officers who describe themselves as traumatized by the violence at the Capitol and who have continued to pinpoint Trump and his months-long campaign to overturn the 2020 election results as the source of that day's violence. He's also the 10th officer to sue Trump and accuse him of instigating the attack. Meanwhile, the committee investigating the insurrection is seeking cooperation from Fox News host Sean Hannity in relation to its inquiry. Congressman Benny Thompson, the chair of the committee, and Vice Chair Liz Cheney have requested that Hannity answer questions in relation to communications between him and Donald Trump, as well as the former president's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, and others in the days leading up to the attack, the day itself, and in the aftermath. Hundreds of motorists were stranded after a winter storm snarled traffic in Virginia and left some drivers stuck in place for nearly 24 hours in freezing temperatures along an impassable stretch of interstate south of the nation's capital. Problems began Monday morning when a truck jackknifed on Interstate 95, the main north-south highway along the East Coast, triggering a swift chain reaction as other vehicles lost control, state police said. Lanes in both directions became blocked across a 40-mile stretch of the I-95 north of Richmond. As hours passed and night fell, motorists posted messages on social media about running out of fuel, food, and water. Meera Rao and her husband were stuck on Monday evening. They were only about 100 feet past an exit, but could not move for roughly 16 hours. Not one police officer came in the 16 hours we were stuck, she said. No one came. It was just shocking. Around daybreak, road crews began helping drivers get off at any available interchange, the Virginia Department of Transportation tweeted. Governor Ralph Northam said his team responded through the night by sending emergency messages to connect drivers with help and working with local officials to set up warming shelters as needed. Officials claimed crews were helping distribute food, water, and fuel. People who were stranded overnight and their families lashed out at Northam on Twitter, asking why the Virginia National Guard was not deployed. The affected section of interstate was not pre-treated because heavy rain preceded the snow, which fell at times as heavily as 2 inches an hour. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an Evergreen podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.